Welcome back everybody. So guys, in this lecture we'll be talking about a little more things about the JavaScript. So what I'm just gonna guide you, I'm gonna delete that things. Actually we was talking about the console logs. I just need to make something like that. Okay, console log, logged data, whatever data, save it. Now go to the browser, refresh the page. So I'm gonna get the new data here, logged data, no problem. Now what more I'm just gonna do, gonna go back and here the data which I just put it inside that, I just need to make them saved. Here I'm just making a variable, the very first variable. So we just can save the data inside the variable, and then when we just call the variable, the data whatever we just saved inside the variable will be visible. Now remember we just put it something like without double quotes, strings without double quotes. So this is how we just make variables. So the very first variable I'm just making is something like data equal to means I'm just assigning something. Okay, I'm assigning, this is a assigning operator. We'll be talking about the operators later on. So this is the operator, and we're assigning the data. The data must be integer or the string, so I'm just making some string. So the data, this is the variable data. Okay, cool, save it. Now right after the logged data, I'm just making another console.log, and inside that I'm just directly calling the data. This data is coming from there. Okay, save it. Now go to the browser back and refresh the data. So now you can see that this is the website variable data. It is coming from line number 20, and line number 20 is actually the the console log, but we knows that there is nothing in line number 20 but the data variable. But this is everything because it has the data. Now interestingly, what is the type of the variable? A variable is actually its own type, means a string, integer, and a variable. But ultimately the data of the variable, this is the data of the variable. The data of the variable has its own type, and the variable, it's the variable is variable, the type is variable, but the data inside the variable can be string, can be integer. So we don't be treating them, the variable, we don't be treating the variable like its type. We will be treating the variable in a variable way, means we're not putting the double quotes or single quotes around it. However, it's a string, it has a string data, but the data, the result end will be different. I'm just gonna guide you what I'm just telling, so not to making it confused. So the dot log, and here just suppose here we just put 4 plus 5, save it, go to the browser, refresh that. Okay, the 4 plus 5 is 9. Cool. This is the another thing. I'm just making a variable txt1, and in the txt1 I'm just putting 10. Okay, txt2. Just consider things that we're just not making the integers, we are making the strings. Now here console.log, first I'm not making things like that, I'm just making it like that, the real ones, the original ones. I'm going there, the txt1 plus txt2, save it. Now go to the browser, refresh the page. Okay, we got the 30. Okay, cool. And I'm just changing things a little bit. I'm just making it int1, int2. Now I'm just going down, and here the txt1, and inside the txt I'm putting same values, but the values are now in the another form. They are the strings. Save it. Now they should be called int1, the int2, and go down console.log, and they are now the txt1 plus txt2. Okay, save it. Go to the browser back and refresh the page. Okay, you can see that the 30 and 10, 20. What is the meaning and why the difference? Because okay, they're variable. You can see that we didn't put the double quote or single quote around this, or around this, but the value we just you can see that add the values of both of them, and the result of the addition was, you can see that. But the addition of the txt1 and txt2 plus was nothing but 10 and 20, because these are the strings, not the variable, not the actually the integers. So I think you just now got the problem, and you just got what is happening here. So 10 20 is now the string. This is how the data of the variable interacts in its way, and the variables are variables, and variable is it a type. So I think you just got what I just meant previously. So now we should just go a little more farther. Okay, interesting thing is, once we just made the variable, we can call them again and again. So I'm just doing the same thing here. int1 plus 34. I'm changing value a little bit, or just leave it. Okay, no problem. int1 plus 34. Here int1 plus int2, but int1 plus 34. Go to the browser and refresh that. Now int1 plus 34 is 44, because int1 is 10. So why is the difference? Because the data type is changed, but the end result, this is the string. The result of is string also, means the value of is also a string, because it's not a variable. The variable is a variable, but the value of the variable is sorry, this is not a string, this is an integer, and the value of this int1 is integer. So there are two integers in real time. In reality there are two integers, not a variable, but we just count the variable from its value. This is how it works. So it's going cool. And console.log, we can go a little more, and txt1 plus, now another thing, 34. Again the 34, but it's with the txt1. Now a variable which has the value of a string and an integer. So go to the browser and refresh that again. You can see that, however, this is an integer, but this is the variable, this is a string. So the string means the value of the string can be 0. If you just do any kind of mathematical operation or arithmetical operations, the value of the string will be 0 in any case. What do you think if you just add the value of the txt1 and txt2? The mathematical value of them will be 0, because they has no value at all, the 0. So this is why this one was the 0, but they ultimately printed that, and this one is the 34. Okay, that's cool. And in the same way, if I just type the actual str, the string 1 equal to here data, there are space, now str2 some data in pieces. I just want you to be sure what we're doing and how we're doing. No problem. How much time it's going to take for me. Console.log str1 plus str2. Now again I'm using the plus sign, but now because they are the variables, the string data, so the result will be changed. There are some data in pieces. Now you can understand why I just put the space here, because there is no space and they're gonna be connected with each other. BTW, when we have the data like that, like this str or the str, some more things I'm just going to talk to you. Actually, when we just add two variables, so they are not going to add, and we're going to get the 0 data. So ultimately without doing anything new for you, the JavaScript considers it concatenating the concatenate sign. So this is another way, this is another level of the doing things in JavaScript. Concatenation means connecting or concatenating two different datas with different values or the same values. Ultimately this is also not an adding sign, but this is the concatenation sign here, because it's also getting concatenated. So I'm just gonna show you console.log, and inside that str. Now I just want to put, actually why we just do concatenation in general way. Suppose we have the text there are, I just want to type something like, I just want to add this line with the variable here when we just console log it. So I just want to show something like there are some bananas. Okay, I love bananas, but I do not have bananas right now. So the bananas, and here plus sign. Now why this is a plus sign? Because now str plus some bananas. So go to the browser and refresh that. Now you can see that we just got the str is not okay. The error is str is not defined, because ultimately this must be the str1. Save. Now go to the browser back and refresh that. Okay, there are some bananas. Okay, this is what I just want to show to the screen, to the people, to the hello world. Okay, now I think you just got the meaning of concatenation too. Ultimately, if you just do this thing in the same way, str2 or str1 or int1 plus some data and save it. Now go to the browser back and refresh the page. So now you can see that 10 some data, but I have to put some space here. Now this is the integer, the real integer, but we're not getting this in the term of integer. We're just using this the 10 value. Yeah, the value of the 10 is 10 because it's an integer, but we're not doing some kind of mathematical operation here. We're just simply using the concatenation. So however, one side of the data, one side of the operator, the operand, is the integer, but the other side is not the integer. So ultimately it's again the concatenation. So I think this is how we play, and I think you just love the way we are doing, and you should try this too. So in the next lecture we'll be talking about some more things. Stay tuned and goodbye.